Good. Okay, so yes, yesterday it was brought to my attention that we were still drawing B1 and C and P1, and we don't need to do that because our update position commands for all of our objects that we created are already doing that. We pass it a window and then we say render.draw. There, so that's good. And we can get rid of those draw commands there. And then the other thing is, because you could see this little bit of a blinking going on. It's not a big deal right now, but basically we're able to see visually what happens when we delete a brick. We're actually seeing the vector get reshuffled, and the one that we deleted gets moved to the right. I think the reason we're seeing that is because we're drawing it in the loop that it's getting erased in. So if we want to fix that, we could pull this out of here and just put it in its own separate for loop. There's a really cheeky way to draw, to use this. There's a variable type in C++. I don't really like that much. It's called auto, and it guesses the variable type for you. And there's a trick. If you press auto and then colon and then the name of a vector, the for loop will go through the whole vector for you without needing like any variables or anything like that. I think you still have to give it a name. Like you have to go auto I and then you hit colon and then you hit your vector. So our vector is called bricks. And that loop will go through all of your bricks. Loop goes through bricks. And then you can draw. You go window dot, or you go like this. I dot. I wonder if this works. Let me try it. I dot update position. Because I is now going to be all the bricks. Update position, and then you type in window. I don't know why it doesn't auto type. Pretty sure that's how you do it. Let's see if it runs. It did run. And we don't get that blinking anymore. There we go. It's neat, eh? We made our little brick breaker game so far. No, we didn't add anything yet, Marco. I fixed a few little things. One thing I fixed is I got rid of these old draw commands because we don't need them. They're just being repeated. And then the other thing is I added this loop that goes through all my bricks. And I don't update my bricks inside the loop that is deleting them. And that stops the flashing for me. This loop here, it's the same as for int I equals 0, I is less than bricks dot size, I plus plus like that, and then bricks I dot update position. So they're the same thing. You can see the kind of appeal of using this auto variable sometimes. I'm not a huge fan of it. I just wanted to show it to you for fun, but let me comment that. There is some appeal to doing it this way. I just think it's kind of like, I don't know. It doesn't cost you that much to actually write in this code. It's way easier for someone coming along to understand what you're doing when they see that you're going through all of your bricks and then doing something to them. Whereas here, when you make it type the word auto, now the coder kind of has to guess. Like the computer will know what the type is because it's a smart computer. Figure it out when it compiles your code. But for someone trying to figure out what's going on, they may not know that I is going to be a brick type or something. There are times when this could be really useful if you have a really crazy variable type that's, you know, doing something. But I actually might just get rid of that and just keep it as my old school for loop that goes through my bricks. I have to go through my bricks twice, but it's not a big deal because I'm probably max going to have like 50 of them or something. If we want to add more, we can. Oh, it doesn't like that, does it? Let's see. Oops. Oh, that should say the word window. So, let's add a couple of rows of bricks. How would we do that? We're making 10 here, right? And we're pushing bricks back. Why don't we make a for loop in here, int j equals 0, and then make maybe like 4 rows or 5 rows. 4. That should say the letter J. And J plus plus, like that. Boop, boop. And I'll put all this code in here. Not much is going to change, really, except it's a for loop inside a for loop, which kind of lends itself to being rows and columns. And so I have 40 plus I times 70. And here I could do 40 plus j times something, however big I want my rows to be. I'll try 30 because my my bricks are 20 in height. I think they are. Yeah, they are right here, right? So let's see if that'll make a row of them. Yeah, it does. That's nice too because I didn't have to change much code to add tons of bricks to my project. I have a little brick breaker game now. How good is that, hey? Let's see if I can get up behind, yeah, it's a J. Let's see if I can get up behind the back and just start conking them all over. Whoa, it's like peeling through. Come on! I knew this would happen. Why doesn't it bounce? I think it deletes it before it actually bounces. Is that possible? No? See, if I get it really horizontal, it doesn't bounce the way it should. It kind of just plowed through a whole bunch of them. That could be a cool power up too, where if you have something drop from the screen, and if you touch it with your paddle, your ball turns into like a wrecking ball and just crashes through all the bricks or something. The other issue is we're going to have to figure out how to not get the ball to do this, because in a regular brick breaker game, it would never sit there and skim across the screen for 10 minutes, right? One of the ways we could do it is to kind of check our ball and make, oh, there we go, that's better. But check our ball and make sure that it's not, it doesn't have a really shallow angle, like between, I don't know, if it's close to 180 or minus 180, maybe we have to give it a kick somewhere. That will probably be for another day though. I'm happy with our progress here. We've utilized 2 different libraries, Box2D for collision and physics, and then SFML to draw everything. So we're using other people's code, but making our own cool project with it. It's kind of like the main mantra behind computer programming nowadays. You don't make anything from scratch almost anymore. It would take too much time to work out all the details of your own physics engine at this point. Okay? Whoever made Box2D probably spent years and years on it with like a whole group of people on the internet and stuff, right? You're not going to just be able to come along and make that on a weekend. So it's nice to be able to borrow stuff. I kind of wanted to get it more horizontal and see what happens just for a second. Looks okay for now. I'm happy with it for now. There'll be some things we'll want to change in the coming, not the next week, but the week after. But I think today your goal will be to try to get just get a really basic brick breaker going there. You could try to add a power up, maybe something simple like well, it won't be that simple, to make your paddle bigger or smaller. Okay. Now in Box 2D, that's not that easy of a thing to do. If you ever want to make your paddle bigger in Box 2D, you actually will have to you'll actually have to delete the body from the world. Okay, kind of like the way we did with the brick. How did we do that? We went here. And then you'll have to re-add it, but with a different size. And the reason why is because Box 2D is a physics engine, and it would be super unphysical for you to just resize something, because you're kind of teleporting things when you're resizing them or just moving them with a set position, right? So it's not a good way to do that. So I have found in the past the best way to make a Box 2D object bigger is just to destroy it and then find a way. So for paddle, I would just call, world.destroy body or whatever it's called. Yeah, destroy body, and then pass it my paddle's body. My paddle will still exist because I've made this variable type myself, so everything's fine. It's just that the body is no longer in the world. And then what you do is you instantly kind of redefine the body again and just pop it back into your world with all of this code. Okay? You make a body definition quickly, you set its position, and you would just set as box. I think this is where the size comes in here. Width and height, obviously, yes. So you would just change your width of your box and pop it back into your world, and it would all happen in one frame, and you wouldn't even notice what happened, but your paddle would get bigger. Yeah. So I will show y'all how to do that next Monday. But I want you to try it on your own too. Keep working on your assignment 2. I'm going to post a video of some old assignment 2s and the grades that I gave them. I'm going to do that today as well, so you can see what kind of stuff some goals you can reach for assignment 2. Your assignment 2 obviously doesn't have to be as good as it would have been in the past with students that were in the class for 5 months. So I'm not looking for masterpieces by any means here, but something more than whatever basic thing I helped you set up when we talked about assignment 2. Something that's semi-interesting and fun, and doesn't have to be, maybe a couple hundred lines of code or something like that. Other than that, we'll continue working on our Brick Breaker game when we come back. We'll have a week. Let me pull up my calendar here. Let's see. So when we come back, we'll have this week. Is that right? Yeah. And then like a day, one or 2 days in here to kind of wrap everything up. So that will be our last project, is this Brick Breaker project that we're working on right now. Okay. In the past, I would have had a final project in the course that you make anything you want, but we ain't doing that this year. Okay, so if there's any questions, let me know. I'm gonna go through my emails and help out the people that want me to look at their stuff today. I will also make that video on old assignment 2, so you can see what other people made. And that's it. So that's all we'll talk about for today. Okay. I'll be on my computer today as well. If you need help with something, let me know. Alright? Other than that, have a great week, everybody. And that will be that. Okay?